Hey, good morning. We're back. I'm feeling a little more chipper than yesterday. You can still hear it in my voice. Ooh, I've got the moves going today. I'm on the rebound. Boom, boom, pun intended, rebound. Milwaukee Bucks. Actually, I didn't even plan on my topic today being about basketball when I chose this hoodie. I've been wearing hoodies every day this week. That's the COVID. That's the COVID uniform, sweatpants and hoodie. I am rocking the sweats still. Uh, so I've been wearing different hoodies every day, and it came. And it's like, well, might as well. I didn't want to wear. I almost pulled this Milwaukee Bucks hoodie off the shelf yesterday, but they had just played the Chicago Bulls. And if you asked me if you had a team, I'm not a fan of any NBA team. I refuse to have a favorite because I'm not an NBA fan. I root for teams. I root for the Milwaukee Bucks. I root for the Chicago Bulls. I root for just about any team. Doesn't matter. But the Bucks and the Bulls played on what, Thursday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, whatever night it was. So the next day I didn't want to wear a Milwaukee Bucks hoodie because if like in that game I was rooting for the Chicago Bulls. If the two play, I'm a Bulls fan, and I use the term fan loosely when talking about NBA because I'm just not a fan of the NBA. So that's why here we are. But I didn't choose. And then today it's like, what the hell am I going to talk about? Because really, to be honest with you, I should have topics coming out of my ears because the only thing I do all day since Tuesday is lay on the couch, scroll Twitter, and watch TV. Repeat, repeat. Sounds like the life, but it sucks. So I want to talk NBA because I've consumed more NBA and I didn't even realize. I'm like, wow, I watched a game. I watched the celebrity game last night, which by the way sucked. I had to turn it. I'm wearing a hoodie. I played NBA Jam on Sega Genesis. It's really thrown back to the 90s for me because that's the last time I really cared about the NBA. We've got Herman in the house. What is up, Herman? Victor is here. What's happening? Todd, good morning. Paul, good morning. We've got Ed. What's up? Good morning. Going to have you on in the car while running errands. Enjoy. That's something I miss, running errands. I actually did leave the house yesterday. Now, before you scold me, I didn't interact. I didn't leave my vehicle. I didn't go to a store. I didn't interact, but I had a whole bunch of packages from eBay that I had to get mailed out. So my wife had some showings in the afternoon, and I'm like, I've got to get these to the blue boxes before they pick them up for the day, for the weekend, or I guess the day, because they pick them up Saturday as well. So I'm like, screw it. And it felt so weird. Doesn't it feel so weird? It's the strangest feeling after you've been sick for a few days, starting to get back to normal. And I really don't feel like I'm getting back. I'm feeling better. I sound like shit, but I'm feeling better. I'm moving around. That's when it hit me, like just walking out to my car, just like doing things that we take for granted. It's like, oh my God, I just drove to the post office and back. I'm tired. I got to go hit the couch. It's strange how much energy it takes after you're sick, when you're sick, to do those menial tasks. So I found that out yesterday. It's like, oh, I'm beat. What'd you do all day? Laid on the couch. Oh, but I drove to drop packages off at the mailbox. I'm beat. And it was really strange, like getting in the car. It's like, oh my God, what is this machine? How do I work this? It's like, God, it's been 4 days. So that's the strange part of being sick, is the return. And you're in this like sick hangover phase. It's kind of like a hangover from, I would say, the sick hangover and the hangover, pretty similar. You're in that fog. You're in that fog, and it's just like, what the hell? It's almost like you're in this like fever dream, or you're on acid or something. It's like, what in the hell is going on? This world is weird. Oh, maybe the Dayquil's kicking in. I was down to one Dayquil yesterday. It was a one Dayquil day. That's good. I don't know how many I had Wednesday and Thursday. Holy shit. But it was a one Dayquil Friday. I took a couple tablets in the morning. I did a NyQuil last night. So I took a Dayquil this morning. I'm going to try to keep it to a one Dayquil day. Try to wean myself off the quills. Definitely going to have a NyQuil again tonight. I'm feeling it. So hopefully I can wean off the quills. And I'm hoping Monday I can get back and like be a human again. A living, breathing, walking, driving, errand running human. That's what I strive to be. Isn't that weird? Our goals change quickly at the moment of illness. Here I am speaking like it's basically just a bad cold I have. And here I am talking like, anyway. Where are we at in the chat? Royals 417. Matt is here. Good morning. Joining you on the road to regional high school wrestling. Very cool. That is awesome. Good luck today to whichever team you're rooting on. My high school alma mater had a couple games last night the boys' season in Illinois is ending this week, and I think their regionals begin next week. The girls are in regional week. My alma mater girls basketball team won the regional championship. They beat the defending state champions in the regional championship game last night, the same team that booted them from the postseason a year ago. And I can't remember if it was in a regional championship last year or in the sectionals. So the girls team at my high school on to the sectionals. The boys team played for a shot at sharing the conference championship, and they started the season like really bad, like 4-12, and they won like 13 in a row. But they got beat pretty bad last night. So they took second place in conference. So my high school, the Anawan Braves and the Anawan Bravettes. Fight on, old Anawan, maroon and white. Fight on, old Anawan. Fight. ANNAWAN, Anawan. Fight on to victory. The Faulty wants to know, is the NBA still a league? It is, yes. Victor says Bulls in a very bad losing streak. Thank Hall of Fame for the All-Star break. I think you meant God. Thank God for the All-Star break or the Hall of Fame. Yeah, the Bulls are bad. And I watched most of the game. I don't think I watched the full game Thursday night. But at the beginning, it was like, man, they were just getting trounced. And it's like, oh, I knew the Bulls were bad, but geez, at least give me a competitive game. But they came back and made it a game from what I remember. Cooter, what's up? Good morning. Heading to a small card show. Very nice. Good luck. The COVID fog is real. Yeah, I have heard about the COVID fog. I'm in that. Oh, it sucks, man. It almost feels like you're not even human. It feels like you're just swimming in this freaking weird ass life. I don't know. It's weird. George, what's up? Good morning. And yes, the big C, and I don't mean Chicago, will drain you. And unfortunately, the drain can linger for a month or two. It has for me. That sucks. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Cooter wants to know, what did you do about your bulk delivery you had scheduled for Thursday? So yes, I had my latest bulk. I have sold it. So as soon as I tested positive, I reached out to my buyer I said, "Hey, I've got COVID." He already paid me. He sent me Venmo for the stuff, and I'm like, "Hey, I've got COVID," and it's the classic excuse. And I'm like, if you feel uncomfortable, I'll send you the money back. You can pay me when we meet. He's like, no, 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 I trust you. He's like, next week is fine. So, um, we're gonna make that arrangement for pickup delivery next week. So hopefully, I don't know. Depends on his son is the one that we're meeting up. So depends on his schedule, and then whenever I feel back to it. So I want to make sure I'm free and clear of infecting other humans with this nasty sickness. So hopefully next week, because I want it gone as much as that guy probably wants to dig through it, because I want to free up some space, and start the next round, start the second batch, start another bulk sale. Broncos in the house. What is up, Bronco? Bo is off the injured list. Welcome back. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see Bronco next a week from today. The Madison Card Show, Sheraton Hotel, John Nolan Drive. We are completely sold out with a waiting list. It's been a few months since we've had a waiting list, so that's a good sign. Can't wait for next Saturday. Hopefully, now talk about draining. I'm concerned about this COVID drain and how exhausted I'm going to be by the end of next Saturday. So looking forward to it nonetheless. Max is here. Hopefully I'll see Max next Saturday at the Madison Card Show. The Bulls are bad. Too many egos on that team. The Bulls are bad. And there's a lot of injuries too, right? Like, I don't think DeMar DeRozan played the game I watched. I've heard other players are injured. I think there's a lot of injuries going on. Now, take that with a grain of salt because I don't watch. That was the first game I've watched of the season. Red Light 34 in the house. What's up? We've got baseball card curmudgeon. But I watched more NBA this week than I have in decades. I watched that game because it was Thursday night, and it's like I've watched so much freaking crap on streaming platforms. I don't want to watch another episode of That 90s Show. I don't want to watch another crappy movie off a free streaming platform, Night of the Comet. I don't want to watch another documentary, Nolan Ryan. I don't want to watch another 90s sitcom, Step by Step. I need something live. I need live primetime entertainment. And I'm scrolling through the TV guide, and there it is. Boom. Milwaukee Bucks at Chicago Bulls. I'm like, hey, those are like my two favorite teams. If I had favorites, I'm going to watch this, and damn it, I'm going to enjoy it. I didn't, but I watched it. My Sega came in. More importantly, the cord to make it work came in. So I did the Amazon. My God, Amazon is a treat. Amazon is, what did we do without Amazon? I went without Amazon for like up until recently. I didn't really utilize Amazon that much. Oh my God, it's so much. And if you have Prime, like Prime is what makes it, because I don't have much patience. I mean, I have some patience, but I don't have much. And it's like the Sega thing. And I talked about this last week. It's like I couldn't get it to work, so I need to find like the Genesis adapter to HDMI. And yeah, I could probably go down to Best Buy, which is literally 3 miles down the road. But when am I going to go? Like every time I'm out and about, I might even drive past the Best Buy. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to get out of my car. It's winter. It's cold. I could be right there and like, screw it. But if I order, like, I could just like, right now, look it up, boom, click, buy. I don't even have to like click many buttons. I just search for it, buy now. All my information's in there, boom, and it's on my doorstep in a day or two at most. So that's what I did, and I think it was delivered Monday or maybe even Sunday. I can't remember when I ordered it, but It was here, and it's like, didn't hook it up. I think it was Monday, and then I got sick on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I started feeling, like Wednesday, I mean, I still felt really shitty, but I had bouts of like, I can play a game of NBA Jam. So I played a couple games of NBA Jam. I'm watching NBA. I watched the Celebrity All-Star game last night. That was terrible. My goodness. That was terrible. And I spent 12 years broadcasting small school high school basketball games. And that last night's Celebrity All-Star game might have been the worst basketball game I've ever seen. That was terrible. Ugh. So tonight, I assume, is the slam dunk competition. Do they even have that anymore? I don't even know if they have that anymore. But I think they have like the skills. So I'll probably watch that. I'll probably watch the All-Star game. What else do I have to do? I'll be down in my cave quarantining. But I did, going back to the glory days, the glorious 1990s, NBA Network had old slam dunk competitions on TV. And they had the 1993 All-Star Game slam dunk competition, which is like my wheelhouse. Like that's when 92-93, that season was when I became just absolutely in love with the NBA. It lasted about 4 years. 3-4 years, I was just a diehard NBA fan. 92-93. So that slam dunk competition, Harold Miner, Baby Jordan, some guys that's like, oh my God, I don't even remember these guys playing. I remember their basketball card. Tim Perry in the slam dunk competition. Kenny Smith, I don't recall him being in the slam dunk competition, but he was. Who else was in that 93 All-Star game slam dunk competition? I can't remember, but I remember Harold Miner, Tim Perry, Kenny Smith, David Benoit, which, by the way, the 93 All-Star game was also in Salt Lake City. And so David Benoit was the hometown favorite. That's when I realized it was in Salt Lake, because David Benoit comes out to the slam dunk, and all of a sudden it's like just, yeah, like just fans going crazy. And I'm like, for David Benoit? And then I realized, oh, they're in Salt Lake City. He plays for the Utah Jazz. Now it all makes sense. David Benoit. Fan favorite David Benoit. Let's see. George says you should be fine after a week. It was in terms of anything other than fatigue. But don't get me wrong, if you're doing something fun, the fatigue doesn't really hit until you get home. That's kind of what it's like. In the moment, during the card show, I'll be like, because you don't have time to take a break and realize you're tired. It's when you get home and all of a sudden the adrenaline wears off and it's like, oh shit, I am beat. So yeah, I have that feeling. Next Saturday night, I'll be exhausted, and Sunday, so maybe it'll likely be a 9 a.m. Hobby Evolution Madison card show review next Sunday. Card Curmudgeon says, are you in the crew that thinks today's NBA play is brutal compared to yesteryear? No, not really. It's, for me, today's NBA, I think it's me, not them. I think the problem is me. Because I think the game, I think of and I've never watched hockey. Hockey probably hasn't changed, but I think oh man, now that I say that, I think probably baseball has changed the least. And I know there's big changes in baseball, but I think the game of basketball, I mean, football obviously has changed the most in the last 30 years, 40 years. I think the gameplay for basketball, the style has definitely changed. It's more of a finesse game today than what it was 30 years ago. Because in the 80s, I mean, you had the Pistons, the Bad Boys. I mean, shit, going back to the 70s, there were like fights every game. I mean, basketball was a brutal, brutal game in the 70s and 80s. And then I think the transition started in the 90s as more of a finesse game. But I don't know why. That's actually a really good question. Why don't I like today's NBA? I really don't have an answer for that question because I love college basketball. And so there's like a divide between college basketball fans and NBA fans. It's like you either like one or the other. And I'm clearly a college basketball fan. And the NBA fans, it's like, and I say I like the college game because it's more, I think maybe, and this is probably a hot take. I hate the freaking shot clock. I hate the damn shot clock. And now they're trying to bring it to high school in Illinois. I think the college game, I think it's dropped the shot clock. It was I think when I was working in college basketball, it was at 40, and it might have switched right after I moved on. But it gives you more. The NBA game is so fast, and it doesn't allow you to be strategic. And I guess you can say, well, it allows you. You have to be fast thinking, and you have to be quicker with your strategy. There's still strategy, and I get it. There's still strategy, but it's not, you don't allow that time to like develop the strategy. And then there's people on the other side of the spectrum that disagree with my take and say, well, 40 seconds is way too long. It's boring. There's no points and blah, 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 blah. I don't know. But is there like a real, that's probably the closest reason I have to not liking today's NBA game. And has that changed in the last 30 years? Probably not, but I have. When I was a big NBA fan, I was 12. I've grown up a little. I like different things at age 40 than at age 12. So I think that probably has a lot to do with it. But I really don't know. And I'm not one of those guys that, I enjoy the LeBron MJ debate just because I really like pissing off MJ fans because they get their panties in a bunch real easy. Those Michael Jordan fans, the diehards. But I really don't have I don't have skin in the game. I really don't give a damn. Max has never been a DeRozan fan. He's not great like everyone makes him out to be. Ball is out for the year, and Zach LaVine was a flash in the pan. They should be a threat to win the East, but are not. That's what I mean. They have so much on paper talent, but they suck. They're in I'm sure they're in basketball purgatory right now. I'm sure they're like middle of the road, so they're gonna get like the meaningless, 16th pick in the draft. NBA standings. Back to the old Garpax era. So where are we at? Eastern Conference. So I guess they're towards the bottom. They're in 11th place, 26-33, just ahead of the Pacers. So I mean, in the Pacers and Magic are right below them, with 26 wins. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams in the East worst. 5. Oh, so the West is a much better division. That seemed the conference. So there's only 2 teams worse. The Spurs and the Rockets are really, really bad. So they're tanking for Victor Wembanyama. So I guess the key is just try to get come on, Bulls, start losing more games. They've lost 6 in a row. They're tanking. So try to get so they're what I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 teams with a worse record in the NBA here at the All-Star break than the Bulls. So that gives them a decent shot. They're right in the lottery. So that gives them an okay shot at a top pick. I think in this year's draft you want 1 or 2. And then it's 1-2 in the rest, which is kind of like most years. You've got Victor Wembanyama, who's going to be number 1. Scoot Henderson, going to be number 2. And then the rest of the guys. I haven't looked at a mock draft in a few weeks, so I'm not sure how things change, because things change like on a dime during the season. George says, do you have Disney Plus? No, but I thought, like, as I'm like quarantined, I want Disney Plus to watch Boy Meets World. I listened to the podcast, the Pod Meets World. And it's like, man, I want to watch some Boy Meets. I was watching Step by Step this week. I've been binging it. It's a great show because it reminds me of like being sick as a kid. It's like, man, I feel like I'm 12 again. I'm playing NBA Jam. I'm watching Step by Step as I sort baseball cards, and I'm watching NBA again. Like, this is exactly the life I lived at age 12. Let's see. If you do, I have some recommendations for you. You just have to deal with subtitles. Amazon is a savior if you live abroad. Shipping prices and speed are unmatched. Man, I love Amazon. The other thing that I bought with Amazon was, my order of custom cards using the Rookies app came through. It was delivered yesterday, and so I was sorting that last night. And now it's like I want to get these into so I use, for my autographing for cards, I use the watercolor sketchbooks, which have the thicker paper stock, and it's like spiral bound. And you can put those those photo corners, and boom. So you can have, like, if you have 9 cards of a guy, and then boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. Sorry. And so I have one, but it's old, and it's got old corners in there, and it's got cards still in there from last year in the Cubs convention. It's like, I want to start fresh because I want to organize it, and I want to have all my cards ready, because last year I was not prepared for spring training and getting autographs with these cards. I was kind of going on the fly. So then it's not alphabetized. So I'm looking for, like, oh crap, where is Riley Martin? Oh shit, he's not in the M's. Oh, I got him later. So I want to have it like all 600 cards or whatever I bring in this binder, all ready to go. So I can't go to pick one of these watercolor books. You get them at Michael's craft store. It's like, and then all of a sudden it's like, what in the hell? Why didn't I think of this? Amazon. So I went to Amazon, and with Prime, I ordered, I think they had a bulk deal, a bulk two books, and I bought 2 of them, and they'll be delivered tomorrow. So tomorrow I can start, if they get delivered tomorrow, hopefully they do, I can start putting my autograph book together for spring training. Amazon, man, I love it. Now it's like, God, I need to find a book, but by the time, if I order it today, it's probably not going to be here till Monday. I have been reading, actually, Cooter, the book that Cooter sent me. I'd only read like the first few chapters. I finished the last book I had, and so I've been reading the Neighborhood of Wrigley or something, by Barry Gifford. So I've been reading that the last couple nights. Let's see, what's George say? I can put in an Amazon order that ships from Amazon on a Monday, and it will be at my door by Friday or Saturday in South Korea. That is great for being abroad. Let's see. Victor says, I sat through the NBA crap last night. Holy cow, it was bad. Yeah. I mean, I think it was because I watched the very beginning. Like, I watched the pre-show coverage, and then the tip, but then for the tip, like, each team shoots a shot or something, shoots a 3-pointer, and whichever team, I think each team gets like 5 shots. And I think of that round, each shot made is like a $4,000 to charity thing. And then the winner gets a 4-0 lead in the celebrity game. So we go through, and only one on the first team, one person makes it. So they've got 1 point. The next team, the first like 4 players miss the shots. And then it was actually a WNBA player, Erica. She made the shot. So now it's tied. We go into overtime. So each team gets a shot. They both miss. And now they're like scrambling because they haven't like taken account for like programming. And so now it's like a shoot off and nobody makes another shot. So they're just like, we have to go. We have to start the game. It was a shit show. So they end up, they're going to start the game a tie 0-0. Well, it should have been in the first place. I get it. They want these quirks. So they start the game 0-0. They just got the game started. So I think that was a sign of things to come, like nobody making a shot. I'm watching. It's like, oh my God, this is bad. Let's see. Victor says slam dunk, only 4 participants, all young kids plus 1 for the G League. Oh yes, I did see that. I did see during I think it was during the Bucks Bulls game I was watching, they were promoting it, and Mac McClung is the G League guy, and I'm like, imagine like I'm a baseball, like I'm not an NBA guy, so I don't get like these things. But to me, that would be like the Major League All-Star game having their All-Star game home run derby, and one of the participants in the home run derby is some dude that's in AAA, like not even in the league. That's just so strange to me. And it was funny on the broadcast. They're like, "Oh no, McClung got called up on a 2-way to Philadelphia." And I'm like, "Oh," it's like, what the hell? So yeah, and now that you mentioned that, I remember seeing that on the screen, and yeah, I don't remember the names, but I'm not familiar with many players anyway in the NBA. What's up, Brian Wolf in the house? Good morning. Sounding good, feeling good. What was that commercial? That's one of those. I think it's My Pillow. Feeling good, looking good, sounding good. Baseball card curmudgeon says hockey has changed a lot. Few hard checks, less fighting, more skill. NHL has become more like U.S. college hockey, which is softer. Most sports are softer. Old school spectators are not impressed. That's a good point because basketball, it's definitely not like the 80s with the Pistons. Football, certainly. We all know that. In NHL, yeah, I did not know that about the NHL. Let's see. Herman says with Disney Plus, you can watch Star Wars. Pass. Next. Herman says, chat question. What's the last thing you ordered off Amazon? Mine was a hydrometer. I've got to look. I don't even know what the hell a hydrometer is. Hydrometer. What is going on? Hydrometer. Hydrometer or lactometer is an instrument used for measuring density or relative density of liquids based on the concept of buoyancy. They are typically calibrated and graduated with one or more scales, such as specific gravity. Well, that's interesting. Now, Herman, my question to you, what the hell do you use a hydrometer for? Victor last ordered socks from Amazon. Matt Royals 417. When are you heading to spring training? So I just shared what the last thing I ordered was. My last order from Amazon was watercolor, a watercolor sketchbook, which is for autographs. And Matt says, when are you heading to spring training? So I fly out March 7th. So my flight, it's a late flight. It's like 5 p.m., which 5 p.m., 6 p.m. is late for me. As you know. So I probably won't get to my hotel till like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So March 7th. So I'll get there late. That's a Tuesday, late Tuesday night, March 7th. And then my flight's super early. My flight's at like 7 a.m. on March 14th, the following Tuesday. So basically I'll be there. Let's see, what is that? 5 full days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Oh, so I'll be there 6 full days. So that's good. I think I was there 8 full days last year. So looking forward to it. My goal is 500 autographs. That's my autograph goal for spring training 2023. Last year, I think I took in like 260, 250, somewhere around there. That was my autograph total a year ago. But I wasn't as prepared last year. And I focused more on actually I did a lot of cards last year, but I also brought like a ton of baseballs. And I'm probably only gonna bring a dozen baseballs this year, where I think last year I think I took 4 dozen. Uh let's see. Um so so yeah, focusing more on cards this year. So that's why I'm trying to get to 500. Um Herman says it checks humidity. Use it in my incubator. Aha. And Todd uses a hydrometer for making maple syrup. Matt's going to be at spring training the week after. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. So yeah, March 7th through the 14th. So my buddy's asking if a price on a card lot. Let's see. He wants to know. It's a lot of, okay. I think it's $850. It's a Joe Tinker PSA 2 bat on shoulder. Piedmont. Another Piedmont Johnny Evers PSA 2. And a Frank Chance Yellow Portrait PSA 3. $850. That comes out to what? 2. That seems a little high, but they are 2s. That might be a decent price. I'll have to check it out. So that's all I had. Just want to talk a little NBA, just get on here and chat. I'll be back live tomorrow, probably around the same time, 9 a.m.-ish. I've got some shipping to do. So eBay store, I did link my eBay store. I've got some 2023 top singles in my eBay store. Most of them have sold, so not much left. So if you're, what's up, Joe? Good morning to you. So if you're out and about doing card stuff, card shows, card shops, have a good time, get some good deals. What's up, Kyle? Good morning to you. Again, the Madison Card Show next Saturday, February 25th, 9 to 3, Sheraton Hotel, 125 tables, sold out show. So looking forward to next Saturday and the rest of the week. So obviously no Hobby Evolution a week from today, but we'll be on every day in between. So have a great Saturday, and we'll chat again tomorrow.